Hello and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, let me ask you to bear with me because I've got a stinker of a head cold. I went to Derby on Monday to finish my Christmas shopping, and I'm not sure whether it was the change in air and altitude or the woman sitting opposite me on the bus who gave me this lovely head cold. But yeah, just bear with me. It's been an interesting morning. I went to group this morning feeling perfectly happy, perfectly comfortable with my week. I've had a lovely week, walked 47.97 miles, eaten good food on plan and done nothing out of the ordinary. I've had between 5 and 10 sins a day. I've had 2 A choices and 2 B choices. And when I got on the scales, I had a very strange reaction from the lady who weighed me. Now, these ladies are lovely, don't get me wrong. They're friendly, they're warm, they're lovely. Whether it was a bit of the green-eyed monster or I don't know, but she went, "Oh, well, that's taken you out of target again. You've got 1 week of grace." I didn't respond, I felt like it, but I smiled and I went, "Why?" And she said, "You've lost 3 pounds. I'm laughing about this now because at the time, she actually had me a bit confused because I was just waiting for her to say you've maintained or lost half a pound or gained half a pound. And there was actual silence when I stood on the scales. And I don't usually get that, but we did have a standing group leader today, and it wasn't her that weighed me, it was one of our own girls. And I've come away with quite mixed feelings because although it doesn't really matter, it wasn't what I needed. Yeah, I actually said, "Would you mind if I get off the scales and get on again, because I don't deserve a 3 pound weight loss." And she said, "Well, if it's wrong for you, it's wrong for all of us." Well, I was hoping it was wrong for me and all of us because it wasn't what I needed. It's taken me 1.5 pounds under target. And while most of you are probably watching this thinking, what the hell is she moaning about? I'm not moaning, I'm surprised. I didn't expect that, and I don't know where it's come from. All I can say is I've blown my nose 10,000 times this week, so I'm putting it down to that in some sick sort of way. But yeah, I lost 3 pounds this week and I was joint slimmer of the week. So I am grateful, I'm not moaning, but I'm quite stunned. So when people say to me quite regularly, "Oh, the closer you get to target, the harder it is to lose weight," I have to say, in all honesty, that has not been my experience. I think just stick to plan and anybody can lose weight. But then, that's only my experience and only my opinion. So it was a lovely morning at group. We had a Christmas taster and lots of people bring in lovely, lovely food. One lady in our group, a lady called Mary, who is an incredible cook, made a creme brulee, a Slimming World creme brulee. Now, I didn't try it because it wasn't kind of the time of day when I'd usually be eating creme brulee. And I'm not a big fan of fromage frais, and it had fromage frais in it. But it was basically fruit topped with yoghurt and fromage frais, and then some sort of artificial sweetener, sugar topping. I think it's called sucrin or something. You can get it in Holland and Barrett apparently, and it looks like brown sugar. But she actually used it and then used a chef's blowtorch and created a really, really nice creme brulee according to a lot of our members. So yeah, and it worked out at less than half a sin per portion because of course you only count the sweetener on the top. So there's an idea if anybody wants to try it. I don't know whether it came out of one of the cookery books, but it probably just came out of Mary's vast knowledge of cooking. Another lady, Linda, made her little gold bullion bars, which I've spoken about before, but I am going to quickly share the recipe because they are luscious. You take 45 grams of Cadbury's Dairy Milk and you melt it in a bowl over warm water. You let it cool slightly and you loosen the mixture with 1 tablespoon of a toffee Muller Light. Then you add the rest of the toffee Muller Light and 1 tablespoon of chocolate powder. You divide this equally into an ice cube tray, preferably a silicone one, and you freeze them. When you turn it out, when you turn the little ice cubes out, you can then buy an edible gold glitter spray in Asda and you spray them gold, and they look like little gold bullion bars, and then you serve them quickly before they melt, and they truly are delicious. You can taste the Cadbury's dairy milk and you can taste the toffee, but they are really lovely. These were apparently on the back of a magazine from probably a year to 18 months ago, but worth a try. And we were thinking they might work nicely with dark chocolate and a Muller Light mint yoghurt. So yeah, we had a standing leader this morning who did a really nice job, and one of the things she touched on was the fact that after Christmas, maybe sometime in January, Iceland will be bringing out a new range from Slimming World, which includes things like potato salad, so a chilled potato salad. She couldn't remember the whole list, but there is also going to be a mushroom soup, and the toffee salted caramel light bars, whatever they're called, will be out at the end of January. So I think a lot of us are looking forward to those. So there we go, a £3 loss for being on plan. I need to be careful. I don't go down any lower, because I weighed in today at 9 stone 9.5, and even I can't believe that one. Right, I've had a lovely week. The cold hasn't stopped us doing anything. We've got out walking and did cut down a little bit on last week's walking, but we've been to some good places. We've had some lovely walks. But I've had 3 blessings 3 days in a row. So I was on a hat trick, because on Wednesday, one of my lovely subscribers, Carol Roper, sent me some beautiful flowers for Christmas, which included these chocolate Santas. Now, Carol is a thoughtful dear lady, because she knows these fall nicely within plan. This bag of chocolates is 13 sins, so I can have those and be on plan. And I think for somebody to go to the lengths of thinking about that knows, thanks Carol, you understand how much my plan is important to me, and I'm going to enjoy these on Christmas Day. I think of you. Bless you. That was on Wednesday. On Thursday I had a gentleman at my door, and he brought me these. This is a friend who regularly lives between the Nottingham area, France and Belgium, and I only generally see him occasionally, but he always pops in and brings me some chocolates back from Belgium at Christmas time, and that's what he did on Thursday. I opened the door to him and I was wearing Joe's sort of skinny leg tartan pyjama bottoms and a tight fitting t-shirt, and David, that's his name, was standing there, and he went, "Oh my God, looking at your new body, you probably won't want to eat these this Christmas." And I had to laugh, because it was a shock. The shock in his voice was lovely, and I haven't seen him I've seen him probably once since last Christmas, and I think I took him by surprise. And that's flattering to get a comment like that from a bloke when you're wearing your son's skinny-legged pyjama bottoms. So that was lovely. But this box, go on, have a guess. How many sins for this box of chocolates? Pause for thought. 55.5. Joe's just run the Belgian details, which were in Belgium, and he's translated them, through the sin calculator. 55.5 sins. So bless you, David, but I don't think they'll be for me this Christmas. And then yesterday, my stunningly handsome builder popped round with these. An even bigger box of Belgian chocolates. Now this was a really kind thought, and he knows me really well, and he said, "I know you well enough to know I can get round you with a box of Belgian chocolates." That was purely because he had to delay a job until January. Lovely thought again, but maybe not for me this Christmas. This box of Belgian chocolates is, how many sins do you think? Pause for thought. 120 sins. Now I'm showing you these really kind of to be honest, because if I just kept those secret and put them in my cupboard, I know the way my mind works. I could eat those chocolates over the next week, 10 days, or even this afternoon if I felt so inclined.
I was going to say, why would it take you a week to get through that?
Look, I'm trying to be modest here. Look, it always drops me in it, doesn't it? It's true. Joe knows that I could sit down this afternoon with all 3 of those chocolate gifts and polish them off in an hour, couldn't I, Joe?
You could do it over a coffee.
Do it over a coffee. That's me. And that behaviour is never going to go away. It's only not a problem today because I'm choosing not to do it. So I'm showing them, in all honesty, the 2 boxes of chocolates will be not presents for somebody else. I will give them to somebody else and I'll say where they came from. The bag of Santas, thanks Carol, bang on plan, are mine for Christmas Day. That's enough today. I don't need to make chocolate my God anymore. I've got life today. And I know lots of people have said to me over the last 2 weeks, well, basically from the beginning of December, how they're struggling because of all the food that's available in the shops. But a question I wanted to pose, and I posed it to Joe the other day, is what the hell's available today that isn't always available? We might say boxes of mince pies. In every supermarket you go into at the moment, you're probably greeted in the foyer with box upon box of mince pies and selection boxes and Quality Street, etc. But if I said to you, all of that stuff, including the mince pies or something very similar, or you can always bake your own, is available to us 365, or this year 366 days of the year, would we be surprised? Because it is. There isn't anything for sale in the shops currently apart from chocolate Santas, which are only chocolate, and chocolate snowmen, which are only chocolate, that I couldn't eat every day of this year if I chose to. And it's the same with Christmas dinner. And it makes it much easier for me to sort of deal with this year because Christmas lunch actually falls on a Sunday. And why should it be that different to any Sunday lunch? You know, I'm of the generation that sat down to a proper Sunday lunch every Sunday. We don't always choose to now, do we, Joe?
No.
Because Joe and I don't always eat the same food, and we're often out on a Sunday. Please excuse me. But why does Christmas dinner have to be that different from a standard Sunday lunch? I remember when I was young, a long time ago in the 60s and the 70s, and I'm sure there'll be other people who can remember this too, where turkey wasn't available all year round. As a nation, we ate turkey at Christmas. We didn't eat it, you know, weekdays. We didn't eat. Well, sometimes we had it at Easter, on Easter Sunday. But turkey wasn't something that was in the shops every day of the year. And let's face it, today we can have turkey Monday to Friday, Saturday or Sunday, every week of this year. And lots of us will probably choose not to have turkey. We might have goose, we might have duck, and some people will probably have chicken or beef, pork, lamb, whatever for their Christmas lunch. It's all down to taste. But in my family, it's a really funny thing because we only eat Yorkshire puddings with beef. I don't know whether that's because my family come from Yorkshire, whether it isn't a Yorkshire thing anymore. But my family wouldn't serve Yorkshire pudding with turkey, so it isn't a problem. My family would serve bread sauce, pigs in blankets, 2 kinds of stuffing, like a pork stuffing and a sage and onion stuffing. But all of these things I can choose to have in moderation. I know I'm eating out on Christmas Day, I'm using this as an example. But they're not a big deal, because bottom line to all of this for me today, and I'm not saying it has to be for everybody else, but bottom line to all of this for me today is, for God's sake, Jane, it's only food. It can't rule my life anymore. I'm just so grateful today that I love my food, probably more than I ever have, because I've got a good relationship with healthy food, nice food. But I don't feel any pressure to eat anything anymore. I don't feel that because I'm in the presence of a box of chocolates that I've got to eat it. And I can tell you, when Steve brought these chocolates round yesterday, I'd have had the wrapper off and the first chocolate in my mouth before he could have got in his car to leave. Well, if not the first 3 chocolates in my mouth. And I just put them down on the worktop in the kitchen and walked away. And when I went back into the kitchen, they'd gone. The chocolate fairy had moved them. He still protects me from myself, bless him. But yeah, the point of all of what I'm saying today is, for me, and I'm only speaking for me, food isn't an issue this Christmas. I'm looking forward to so much more about Christmas than food. And I'm not trying to sound, better than anybody else, or, I'm not trying to sound superhuman or anything like that. It really is just food to me now. And while I enjoy my food, I'm not going to make myself feel ill and uncomfortable just for the sake of stuffing some more down. Finally, on today's video, I want to share with you 12 gifts that I've received in last year from Slimming World. 12 things that I've actually learned about myself and about my behaviour through my journey with Slimming World. So Joe and I will put them up on screen, and I'm going to do the voiceover for them. I think you've heard enough of my snuffliness for one day. Gift 1. If I shift my focus from what I can't eat to what I can eat, suddenly I have an abundance of choices. Gift 2. Quality of foods will do more for me than quantity ever did. Gift 3. I don't actually have to validate the way I eat to anyone. My life is my own. No one else has to eat my food. Gift 4. Looking after my mental and physical well-being is more important to me than jumping off plan to indulge myself in instant gratification from junk foods. Gift 5. I need to avoid television and too much social media viewing. As for me, these are huge time wasters, and this is when I might crave eating because of boredom. Gift 6. At the end of the day, regardless of all life's hurdles, the only one who can stop me achieving exactly what I want is myself. Gift 7. I have to process negative emotions and live through them. I can't come off plan to push them down with food. Gift 8. When I see shortcomings in other people, they are usually my own. Gift 9. I need to leave my alarm clock somewhere. I have to get out of my bed to silence it. Gift 10. I prefer not to eat after my final meal of the day, which is usually around 6 p.m. My window for eating is generally 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. This works for me. I need to be up, showered and dressed, ready for the day before I eat breakfast. This is why I rise at 7 a.m. Gift 11. I must not fall into ego traps. If someone else chooses to live this plan differently to me, it does not make them better or worse than me. I live my life, they live theirs. What I eat won't affect anyone else's weight but mine. Gift 12. I should buy myself candles as a treat instead of junk food. I just want to reach out to other people I know have been struggling with colds this week. Julie from Just Julie, Lucy from Lucy's Losing It, Clarissa Coo, and say, I hope you're all feeling better. I'm certainly feeling better today than I was during the week, and it's good to get it over with before Christmas. But to all of you, have a great week. Stick to plan, stay to group, don't miss your last group before Christmas. It's a good chance to know what you're dealing with before the festivities start. It might help you to make better choices. But do what you want to do for Christmas, don't do what I say. Do what you want to do, because any weight loss or any gain after Christmas is going to be yours. And for me, any weight loss or any gain I have after Christmas is going to be mine. Bless you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye. Oh, remember, it works if you work it. It won't if you don't. Cheers.